Hi, I'm Sophie and welcome to my world. You know, I was recently at the Maker Faire and we took a lot of our duct tape projects along with us. And one of them was this cell phone clutch purse. And as you can see, when you open it up, it's got a place for your cell phone. It's got a place for all of your cards. It's got a place for your ID or your library card. It's got a secret hideaway pocket. It's got a change purse that actually is on an accordion fold, and it's got a place for your money. So this craft literally must have been picked up by 1,000 people. And I had more people say to me, hey, can I buy that from you? Well, of course, it wasn't for sale. It was there just to show people some of the stuff that we make. And I did have dozens of people ask me, how do I make that? Can you teach me how to make that? Well, of course, I couldn't teach them at the Maker Faire because it was just too many people and it would have taken too long. So I'm going to teach you here and now. Now, this is very important for you to understand. This is an advanced project. And when I say advanced, I mean very advanced. You need to know how to do a lot of different steps. And I'm going to break it into pieces for you just because there's so many little elements for each part of the purse. So let me show you what I mean. I'm going to be showing you first, right now, how to make this section of the purse. And then I'll show you how to make this section of the purse. And then we're going to put all the pieces together. So this is going to be a multiple section class. And I'm going to teach you how to start with this one right now. Now, the most important thing is that you are going to need some fabric pieces made ahead of time. And what I've got here is the base for this little section right here. And this little section, like I said, has a coin purse, a secret hideaway, and an ID area, and it's got an area for money. So this whole section here is actually 3 separate pockets. And for that, I'm going to be building it on a piece of fabric that is 8.5 by 3.5. So it's 8.5 this way by 3.5 this way. I've made myself a couple extra little pieces of fabric. These are about 3 3/4 by 3 inches. They're a little bit bigger than that. And then I've got a separate piece. This is just a fold over strip. So this is about 2 inches wide. And again, it's about 4 inches long. And then I've made a 4.5 inch fold over strip that I have cut in half so that I have 2 1-inch wide pieces. Now, for my ID pocket right here, I'm actually going to be using a lid. And this is a lid from a deli container. I found that this plastic is great because it's nice, it's flexible, and it's really actually very sturdy and will keep your ID cards nice and dry. I'm going to be using an X-Acto knife, so make sure that if you are using an X-Acto knife that you use adult supervision and are very careful. I've got my scissors. I've got a Sharpie pen, which I really shouldn't need, but I always like to have one just in case. I have my ruler. I've got some sticky back Velcro, which is very important. And of course, most importantly, duct tape. Okay, so let's get started. Now I have done some cutting of some pieces ahead of time here just to make life a lot simpler. But let's start with the change purse because the change purse is one of the hardest things to do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to line up my little piece here. And again, this piece here is 3 3/4 by 3 inches. I'm going to line it up right here. And I want to make my sides. Now, to make my sides, you know what? I'm going to actually use the purple piece so that it stands out. To make my sides, what I'm going to do is take my 1-inch strip and fold it to make a V, just like that. And then I'm going to take a strip of tape, and I've cut these ahead of time. These are nice strips of tape. And I'm going to lay this strip of tape right along the edge. I'm going to fold this down so that the sticky side is facing up, and I'm going to take this edge and I'm going to lay my piece down and fold this over. So now it has sealed onto that side. Now what I'm going to do is trim this little extra off here. And I'm going to take another piece of tape, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So take that V-fold, lay this strip down, fold the V, lay this on top, line it up, and fold this edge over. These accordion pockets are a little tricky, or at least they give me trouble. I don't know, maybe other people they don't, but they do give me trouble. Okay, so now I'm going to trim this bottom. And now you can see I've got the V-fold, so it folds in on itself like that, and it's attached on both sides. Now if you want to, you can come and put a little strip of tape in here. It's up to you. Now I lay this right down and position it right at the side here. And I'm going to take another strip of this red tape. I'll pull it off so you can see, because it's all red. I'm going to do this half on, half off. Now, when I place this down, what I want to do is I want to line this up with the edge here, as close to the edge as I can get, but I want to leave a tiny bit on the bottom. And the reason for that, I'm going to go half on, half off, fold this over. The reason that I have left that on the bottom is because I'm going to come back with a strip that I'm going to seal the bottom right here. And I just want to make sure that I have enough to catch on the bottom there. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So fold that over onto itself. So see how it wants to pop in? Fold that over onto itself. Push this end in. And put that little piece of tape down. And seal it. Just make sure you line it up on top of itself. That's super important. Like I said, this is one of those ones that gives me a little bit of trouble. But there we go. Okay, now I need to make a topper to keep this shut. And so what I'm going to do is I've got my little piece of tape here, and it is just as long, a little teeny bit longer than my pocket. And I'm just going to trim around the edges to give it a nice round shape. And once again, I'm going to take another piece of this red tape. Place it on top. And what I want to do is line this up right at the edge. And I'm going to seal that edge, and then I want to fold this over onto the back side. Now what I want to do is open this up. Now this is very important here. I need to seal this as well, and I need my red tape to do that. I have run out of strips that I pre-cut, so let me just cut some more. If you're cutting these strips and you have one of these great boards like I do, you can just line up with your ruler, follow the dots, and you can get nice 1/4 inch strips. So I want a nice 1/4 inch strip here, and I'm just going to lay this on top of here and seal it off. Now that will keep my change in place, and it's not going to go anywhere. I'm going to put a strip on the bottom here. Oh, need to cut another one. And I'm going to put a strip on the bottom there just to seal that bottom so it doesn't go anywhere. Again, we're going to do that half on, half off. And you got a little extra there. Fold it over to seal it really nice and good. And if you get any little extras, you can just cut them off with your X-Acto knife. And now I'm going to take a little piece of sticky back Velcro. Now this doesn't need to be too much, but I'm going to do this so that my flap stay in place. So I peel the back, add it, push it down. There you go, and it's sealed. Okay, now we're going to do the ID holder. Now for the ID holder, you actually are going to need your card because you're going to trace around your card. So place your card down, trace around it, and now just to show you, what I do is I take my X-Acto knife and I just go around the outside here really carefully to get rid of this outer edge, leaving me a lot of this plastic here, and then I can just come back and cut. Now remember, that's traced around, so I can cut right on that line. Don't worry that you can see that line because that's going to get covered with tape. And so you can see, just cut that out, and there you have it. There's your ID holder. Now, for my ID holder, I've got a strip of my fabulous designer tape here. And what I want to do, in this case, my ID is going to slide in this way. So I'm going to take this piece of tape and I'm going to lay it half on, half off on this piece of plastic here and just fold it over. Now, if you have any white that shows, that will become the back. And I'm just going to trim. Now, the remaining sides, and this is super important, the remaining sides, I'm going to line up and I'm going to put half on, half off, but I am not going to trim them. So I'm going to go to this edge, half on, half off, and go to the final edge. Oh, come back down there. Half on, half off. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of these little extra pieces because they don't need to be there. Now I'm going to secure this whole thing to a piece of fabric. And now here's the thing. By securing it to this piece of fabric, I'm going to end up giving myself this extra pocket. Okay, so I'm just going to flip this over and lay this on top. I'm going to give myself a little bit of red on the bottom, a little bit of red on the top. There we go, and now where's my base? Place this in place here. Now, so see, here's where your ID would go in. But the great thing is, when I seal this, I'm going to have this hidden pocket here, which I'll show you in just a second. We are almost done this section. As you can see, this is what I was saying about, this is a very advanced craft. So let me just cut some of these red strips. These are the strips, again, that I want 1/4 inches to seal everything off. So I'm just going to cut myself a few here. You can go a little bit bigger than 1/4, like in between the quarters, just to have a little extra, because you can always fold over. All right, line this up. My work surface is getting very messy here. This end here I can seal because it's got that sticky from the half on, half off. This end I'm going to seal to the bottom. And you know what, I'm going to use a bigger strip. Has a little bit more to wrap around. See, I'm going to just wrap that around the bottom. And I'm going to do the same on the top. Put it on the top and wrap it around. There we go. Okay, and there you have it. The first portion of this amazing, oops, there we go, of this amazing clutch. Now, let me just show you. There's your change purse. Look at the secret pocket. So this is where you can hide like your key, or if you wanted to put credit cards or something like that, they could go in there. And we just fold that down like that, make that nice and clean, and then your ID goes right in here. And your secret pocket there. So there we have step 1 of the amazing cell phone clutch purse. For part 2, come back and check me out at sophie-world.com.